Aquarians, welcome into your monthly intuitive tarot reading. If I can get my chair working here. This is for the month of June. So we are going to tap in. This is for Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, North Node Aquarians for June. And this will be, we're closing out the spring in the north. We have the summer solstice, and then we have the winter solstice in the south. So this is a very magical time. This summer solstice is my favorite. And this is a time to really utilize this energy coming in. The summer really represents the peak of life, the peak of like the earth, the peak of energy, and this represents abundance and a happy time. And as we can see in nature, everything is at its fullest bloom. And we should really be harnessing that energy. And now again that it's nicer weather, we need to start really taking the time to spend time in nature and gaining that amazing energy. Put your bare feet in the grass or on the ground every single day. I feel like I got a lot here on the table. Okay, so we're gonna see what's going on for Aquarians. Definitely, if you guys are interested in a personal reading, take a look at my website and you can book one with me. For those of you that watch my channel know, but if you're new, I do other things. I also am a metaphysical author, so you can find my books linked below. They are a series, and they basically at the root are about creating your heaven on earth. And then I have my metaphysical energy tools, so they are available. They are handmade by me. I use real stones and activate and work with the energies so that you can use them as tools. All right, let's get started here. So I'm going to do a different tarot spread today, but we're going to, as usual, start with some oracle. So we have Cedar card, the cedar tree. This is sacred healing. And then Storm Spirit, chaos. Interesting. So we're healing. We're doing some deep healing of some inner chaos. And potentially it's because of there's something that really needs to come up, right? That's coming to the surface that could be creating some emotional storm coming up or something that triggers you. But this is a sign that this is something that needs deep healing. And we have the white peony card, which is the embodiment. And then we have the bear spirit, healing, more healing. Interesting. So this is a very big healing month for Aquarians. There's something that you need to heal. And it's interesting that this embodiment card came out because I talked about it a little bit more in the first couple readings, but as we're hitting June and July, these are the months where we are going to start to really embody the new energy. The first half of the year was really about doing the inner work, right? There was a lot of transformation happening. People's gifts and abilities were really coming online in a whole new way. We were basically being activated to a new level. So our frequency is, because of our frequency increasing, that's going to start to shift. It has to first shift energetically and inside of us. And then it will start to become where we start to embody that new energy. We start to feel differently. We start to respond instead of react. We start to approach life in a new way. We start changing our lives in big ways. We end things, ending relationships that don't serve us anymore, where people are completely, burning down the house, I call it, which means, again, completely ending relationships, completely changing their careers, completely ending jobs and moving into ones that are like maybe a risk or an unknown factor, but it's something that you're being pulled to. You're starting to really feel more inspired to create and start to really use your gifts and abilities, and searching for connections and people that really fill your soul and that help you in this new level that you're at. All right, let's go into the tarot. So I'm going to pull all the cards first, and then I'll talk about it. So the first card here, yeah, moving on. So, I mean, this is interesting. This is just confirming you are moving on from something. A material and spiritual prosperity. Discontentment and boredom. Choose wisely. So there is some new direction here. But this is about, like, what are you going to do? What direction are you going to go in? Stand your ground. And firm foundation. Okay, so first card out is where you currently are. This is your current state. So you are walking away from something. There is some change here, and you've made this decision. It was time for you, and you're hoping, you know, that this is going to be greener pastures for you. So that's pretty straight on. This card over here is your challenge card. So this is potential challenge in June to be aware of. And this is about, it could be about money or finances here. I think there could be a concern based on you moving on from something or starting something new. But this is about just planning, being strategic, and, you know, in this card here, it's like things are still flowing. There's still abundance there. And I think it's about, like, not allowing the old belief system and this the old traditional way of thinking, like, oh, I have to have a solid job that pays me this much. There may be a factor here with money with this decision that's going to change, and maybe not as secure or known, something like that. And this card in the middle, so we have, this is what you don't see coming. So this is the Four of Pentacles in the tarot, but this represents kind of that discontentment and boredom. What you don't see coming here, I think this is more of a just to be aware thing that, I don't know, this could come up as like a pattern for you where you tend to get bored easily in a situation or in jobs or relationships, and you tend to want to just, you know, or there's this mindset right now of like, oh, poor me. Maybe I'm just feeling like potentially these are behavior patterns or like that you tend to loop in, and it's just being aware of this. I'm also getting the advice of getting out of your comfort zone as well. And maybe you're tending to, there's something about you turning your back to the expanse of life that you could live, the potential of life. And you tend to stay where you feel comfortable, Aquarians, which really is not a real Aquarian trait. But I guess, you know, especially Aquarians that have some lean, maybe have on their detriment a little bit, aren't fully in their harmony, can potentially lean towards that. But Aquarians want to expand, right? They're air energy. So Aquarians need to feel free. They need to have their freedom and expand and experience life. But there's something that you're kind of turning your back to. Maybe that's your fullest potential here. But what you don't see coming is, to me, potential. Right? It's potential. And what are you going to do? And that's this choose wisely. So this is the action card for you. What action do you need to take in June? And I feel like these two cards are tied together. It's be very conscious about there's some opportunities I feel like you could take here, and it's choosing the right direction. I feel like you could make decisions that just loop you back into the same life, loop you back into the same relationship, and the same, like, going backwards a little bit. It's maybe like you take all these steps forward to liberate yourself and be more free and like be more independent, or go towards things that like really light your soul up, that you're passionate about. And then all of a sudden it's like, oh, wait, something pulls you back, and maybe you make justifications for doing that. But I feel like there's really going to be, life is going to provide you like the freedom to really, where do you want to go from here? And it's about choosing wisely. And then in the near future here, you got the stand your ground card. And same thing. This is about really doing what's good for you. And maybe you feel like this is selfish, but there's something that you really are, in your heart of hearts and your intuition, that you need to stand your ground and have a boundary about this. And whether it's asking for something you want, or standing your ground about where you're headed, what direction you want, and sticking to it. And maybe it's about moving on too. It's like, maybe you are moving on, but then you are like, wait, I don't know about this. But you need to stand and keep moving forward. No more going backwards. And then this last card is the guidance from the universe. And this is the Four of Wands in the tarot. So this is about really creating, again, you're rebuilding your life stronger, and you're actually building the foundation over again, right? You're moving on to something new. So there's this new beginning energy here, and it's about finally building your life up in a way that is really going to serve your soul, and it's going to fulfill you, and it's what you want and how you want your life to look. This could be relationship-wise, career. This could be a move. Whatever it is, you're really setting up shop in a new place. This could be really, setting up life in a completely new place as well. All right, let's just get a couple clarifiers here. I'm interested, what's this discontent and boredom? Just a little bit more clarity here. Shadow. This card's been coming up for the last couple signs, but this is some deep, again, I feel like this is the moon card in the tarot, but this is really facing our shadows, our unconscious, things that are really deeply rooted in us. And it to me is a lot about patterns here. This could be a really deep discontentment you have, that you feel really deep inside, that always just kind of is there. And I feel like you're really trying to face this and change something. But I do feel like what really is going on, nothing in the physical is going to fix this. Now this is all coming together. This is the healing that is taking place. So there is something deep. This is trauma. This is belief systems, behavior patterns that really you need to look at and do some work on and do some healing. Because again, no matter what you change in the physical, this is always going to be there, and you're always going to get pulled back in. And that's us going backwards again, or looking in the past and staying where we feel comfortable. Because there's a part of you that's like, oh no, I'm not safe. I'm not safe. So I can't do this. I can't do that. But this is where we're actually facing this. What's this challenge about with the finances and spiritual prosperity? Spiritual strength. So this is really reprogramming your belief system around money. So however that shows up for you, whether it's a lack mentality that you have, that you never have enough, or you always feel like money is the basis of like who you are, that this could be too much in the ego about money, that I have to have this much money, I have to have a lifestyle like this or have an image. But we're going more spiritual here. We're starting to see these dynamics and seeing our connection or relationship with money, and bringing more balance and harmony back to this. Like the monks, right? When we think of like this is a monk on this card, like they have no connection to the external world, and especially money. So it's like building a new relationship with money that isn't tied to need, want, lack, image, ego here. Because that's a challenge area for you. And you could worry too much about money. So you're constantly trying to get more, even though you have enough, or there's something that's impacting potentially your decisions about where you're going in your life because of money. And this could be security. Let's get one on this Choose Wisely card. Partnerships and alliances. So you're making decisions. There's some relationship here that has something to do with your decisions in your life. Okay, yes, when we're in relationships, we sometimes do have to do this, but this is an action card, right? And I talked about that. Like, are you making decisions too much? Like you're holding yourself back from truly reaching your potential or truly going in a direction that you're more passionate about, or leaving a situation, right? But are you too codependent on someone? Or are you listening too much to what other people say about what action you should take in your life? So that's something you need to work through as well. So there's a lot about healing here and facing some of these things that you tend to get stuck in. But I think you need to stand your ground. This is about you now. I truly feel like everyone's going to be okay. No matter what you do here, it's your time. It is your time to do what makes you happy, going towards something that's going to get you out of this like discontentment with your life and boredom, right? So I'm just going to get a card for the healing here. We got 2 healing cards. What else does Aquarians need to know about what this healing is? Okay, so there's definitely a big emphasis on your throat chakra here. And this is about communication. This is about standing up with your voice, communicating what you want, what you need, and not letting other people bulldoze you or change or like stop you, or maybe you're afraid to say what you really feel. But this is what you're healing. You're working with your voice in a new way. Yeah, victory and success. And look at this card. This guy is standing on the mountaintop, blowing, and like he is not afraid for everyone to hear. He is declaring his success. He's declaring his victory. He's declaring what he wants. And he is, to me, this is about finding victory in your life. Being victorious over the past, over things that you didn't do, over things not following your soul here, and doing things because of what other people wanted, doing things for relationships over ego, because, oh, I need more money, so I'm going to go down. So you did jobs or went down a career path because of that money, right? Instead of doing something that your soul really filled your soul and did something that you're passionate and love. All right, Aquarians. I think that wraps it up for June. I hope you guys have an amazing month. Definitely, you know, we're preparing for kind of the climax of the year, which is going to be July. Don't forget to like and subscribe. It is free. It supports me and it is being of service. So again, thank you so much for watching my channel, and I will see you in the next reading. Bye for now.